Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, New Powerpuff Girls, and Starverse, The Forces of Evil. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Justin Cummings.
Hello, Internet.
Hi, Internet. Today, Justin and I will be discussing Greg the Babysitter, the July 29th episode of the Summer of Steven / Steven Summer Adventures. We're covering every Steven Universe episode in this time frame here on the Overly Animated Podcast. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Spoilers for this episode of Greg the Babysitter. I guess that could be its own show. That'd be I wouldn't watch that show. Not gonna lie.
I would.
Yeah, you would. And
like Adventures in Babysitting meets School of Rock. Great. The movie, not the TV show.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, no spoilers for this episode and previous episodes. No spoilers for future weeks. So we might discuss the titles coming up though at the end. But yeah, Greg the Babysitter, written and boarded by Lamar and Katie. Justin, what are your thoughts on this episode?
I love Rose flashback episodes, and this is the rosiest of the Rose flashbacks, I'd have to say. We see quite a bit of Rose, really get to see a lot of her character. I thought it was a fun episode. It was good. We got to see... I liked character growth for Greg, even though I guess it was retroactive, because it was a flashback. But it was still a good episode. We got to see more of Vidalia in a way I didn't expect. So, I liked it. Plus, that song was great.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot to like about this episode. This isn't my type of SU episode. I'm not crazy about the flashback episodes, but I think it's interesting the past 2 weeks how we've seen, like, really high quality episodes being like I was in love with the Lars and Sadie episode last week, and this is the equivalent this week. I think this episode's a really incredible episode of television. I think it's incredibly well structured. I think that the themes are like really well presented. It's kind of like this just perfect little narrative, much like Lars and the new Lars last week. It's not like quite as cohesive as that one, but there's also like more flashiness to it, like these big overt interesting morals. Like I think this is like the best presentation of Rose we've gotten, the most effective to me at least. This is great Greg stuff. The song in the beginning is incredible, my new favorite Greg song, even though Drive Van Into Your Heart's also incredible. But yeah, I think this is the best episode of the week, and that's despite like me not generally being into this type of episode. So
there were some good episodes this week. That's some high quality stuff right there.
Let's briefly talk about it. So we just got two like really big episodes, Monster Union and Alone at Sea. I think both were like very good episodes of TV, but both are kind of have these like, but both aren't like, you know, they're just trying to do a lot, and they end up not as cohesive, I think, as this type of episode to me. So give me this one in terms of a television quality. That being said, I mean, in terms of like what I'd rather watch, I guess the previous two, because like in the context of the larger show. But I don't think it's particularly close either. I think Greg this Babysitter is like pretty significantly better than Alone at Sea and Monster Union. I mean, I guess Monster Union's second of those, but.
This was a very good episode because there was a lot of subtlety to it as well. I mean, yeah, some of the themes were definitely over the head, but especially the Greg Vidalia interactions I think that's one of the best dynamics I've seen on television all year. It's a very bold claim, but really, I think that is because of the show, there's a lot of unstated stuff there.
I guess. I don't think we get that.
Because, like, now that they've confirmed... yes, Marty is Sour Cream's dad. We know the past relationship between Greg and Marty. We've never really seen Greg and Vidalia interact, apart from, like, Amethyst saying, oh, yeah, Greg and I used to hang out with Vidalia. I loved what we got to see of this. You could tell there was more. You could tell we weren't getting the whole picture, but I thought it was just a very interesting dynamic.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think what the episode presents is pretty. I've seen it a bunch, like the the mooching off your friend and like the grow up type thing. But there's certainly going to be stuff below the surface for sure with all the things you described. I don't know how much the episode was really getting into it, but let's go through it. We can talk about it. But yeah, I think The highlight for the episode kind of comes at the beginning with the song "I Think I Need a Little Parentheses Change." Don't have to guess the title this time because it was in the credits, but yeah, they're all in the credits. We don't normally see the credits. Written by Rebecca, performed by Ben and Jeff, and it's this really great song. What's so interesting about this is that it's kind of like a summary of the episode that comes in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's the song gets into the themes that clearly Greg is not experiencing in the beginning of the episode after we stop with the song. So like it's like, okay, this is like a general it's like we get the version of I think this kind of, maybe it's kind of literal. It's like, this is what Greg is actually playing to Steven. And then he's like, okay, now let me actually tell you like kind of what happens. Now this was like the song summary, and this is the themes I learn. I need a little change. He's like in the song, he's like, I thought, I always did believe love is all you need to be a happy man, but it may have been naive. Guess you need to eat. Only problems it doesn't pay. Need a little change. These are themes we don't get to until like 6 or 7 minutes later. Like, it's really interesting. I don't think the show's done this before.
No, I liked it a lot. It was very musical, actually. Like, I know Mr. Greg was in a musical episode, but frequently, like, you'll see musicals where like the opening song kind of like hints at what the plot's gonna be. Not always, but it's a recurring thing in musicals for that to happen. I thought that's kind of what this was.
Yeah, you're right. This is a kind of a musical device, kind of the opening song of the show, kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess it does. It kind of gives a general over. I don't think it like summarizes the story, but maybe it talks about themes and stuff. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's really interesting, and that is kind of what
Should
they're
we
doing here for sure.
should we get into the pre-song stuff? Because there was one moment that definitely I think is going to come back to bite us if we
Oh
don't
well.
talk about it.
Oh, we'll talk about the preset. We'll talk about the whole thing. But
You know
it's
what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Oh.
I mean, there's great moments. The whole great moments in the whole thing. There's like, I mean, let's list the reasons the episode's great. It's great thematically. It's great with great presentation of Rose and Greg. We have just this recurring baby sour cream gag, which is great. We have like Steven and Greg in the bookends being great. Vidalia interactions are great. Really, it's the whole thing. It's just really, really solid, the whole episode. Justin,
Yeah.
I have something to admit to you and the listeners. This will come as a shock to our frequent listeners.
What is it, dear Dylan?
I do not particularly like young Greg or Rose. Shocker,
No!
shocker.
No!
I know.
No! I
Even
love
in this
young Greg.
episode,
Rose,
neither
no!
are appealing to me, kind of at all. This is not surprising. I've basically said this before, but yeah, that didn't change this episode. I think what did change is that it was just like obviously interesting portrayal. Like, it doesn't have to be about people I like. Just yeah, young Greg. I don't really get it. I don't know. And Rose, I kind of I get what we're doing with Rose, and we're not doing necessarily anything different, but I still think it's it's still a little. We went more than we went before, but I'm still really superficial with her. Like, we have this presentation of her. It's like, yeah, I get that it's wonder and it's like, oh, humans, and it's like different from what we did as gems. I don't feel like I understand Rose as a person, which I don't think we're supposed to yet.
Can my one note I have about Rose from this episode? She's literally Star from Star versus Forces of Evil. It's the same. Well, what are you doing? And especially the smashing the controls. Release him, or leave him alone. That
Yeah.
she is Star.
She basically is Star.
I
think
never realized that.
that's a good point. I think the difference would be that Star is like a child, and number two, Rose has been on the Earth for 5,000 years at this point, and she's still like that. Gets a little old, maybe.
Well, let's see Star in 5,000 years, and maybe she's still like that.
I think she'll age though, so I don't think she'll be alive. We don't know the. Okay, we don't need to get into Muni lifespan discussions, but yeah, that's a good point. It's very much the alien coming to Earth and finding everything fascinating. But yeah, this is like an appealing episode about unappealing people to me. That's kind of how I view it. I don't know. We'll get into that. Let's go through the episode. I'll kind of highlight where we are at this. But it's, I don't know. It's just like such a simple dynamic, these two, compared to like
Well, it's being told in flashback form
Yeah,
to
that's
a
the big problem,
14-year-old
right? Yeah,
son.
that's good. That's because that's the look we've had at these two. It's all been these flashback episodes.
It's
Meanwhile,
not
we
like
have
they're gonna get into the deep angst and
Meanwhile,
adult
we have Pearl. Yeah,
frustrations.
Pearl enumerating her feelings through song multiple times. So of course I'm gonna be more on that side. But you're right. Maybe I feel like we kind of need an episode genuinely taking place in the past. Maybe Steven has to teleport back or something. I don't know.
So you want Back to the Future? Oh, I actually want that now.
No,
Like
that doesn't make
Steven Back to
sense.
the
No,
Future.
he's already his
Hey,
mom.
universe.
He's already no. It doesn't work. Okay.
Which is why they can't meet or break the space-time continuum. And he'd go into like some place in Beach City, and you'd hear, "Hey, universe!" And he turns around, and then Greg's there too, and oh, it'd be great.
No, I rejected. Really. What I think we need to do is break away from the Stephen POV. I've been saying this for a while, but that's kind of a reason we can't go back in time like that. But that being said, we do this episode, but I guess it's being told to Stephen, so it's very fast. It fits the time limit constraints. Whatever. Let's start at the car wash in the beginning. This hasn't been that busy since that mud tornado 15 years ago.
The Mudnado.
I think this is my favorite Greg line read ever. With I know this is a really weird one to pick, but they called it the Mudnado. Like, I don't know, just the way he says the Mudnado. I feel like that's like. I feel like this is like such a stupid line, but he says it's so great. So those are some of my Tom Sharpling says that's so great. So those are some of my favorite reads. It's like taking kind of not great lines but making them great. I feel like, and I also think this line's kind of intended to be read this way too. It's not supposed to be like epic, and they animated Greg's face to match it. It really worked. I don't know. Getting Steven like running, getting fast there, huh?
Is no, because we just because like they just hinted at the super strength, and then brought that in super quick.
Super strength is
super speed.
Super strength is confirmed.
They hinted at it in like Steven Flows kind of. Then they confirmed it in Drop Beat Dad. Are we getting Steven's super speed too? He cannot have every superpower.
I believe that is what we are doing.
I think they're looking at every DC comic and being like, all right, we got Superman, we got Flash. Can we give him Batman stuff? Nope. Okay.
Justin, this gives further credence to my Steven has all the powers because he's Rose, and Rose is a diamond. That gives further credence to this theory, I think. It does explain all the powers.
Or they let DC Comics start writing Steven Universe.
No, that we know that is not true because we see the writers. But yes,
I know, but that was a jab at DC Comics.
Okay, I ignored it, and you went.
Oh.
Okay. Don't tell me, sing me. Oh my God, Steven. This show,
That's
like,
Steven.
This show is something else. Like this is a perfectly normal line on this show. What even are we watching? We're just all used to it at this point. Can I ever tell you a story without needing to work a song again? And then one of my favorite Zach Allison line reads in a while. I'm playing it by ear. Like that's a great line and a great line read. So yes. I just really love that. Steven said something like that recently again too. It was like kind of the similarly sarcastic, like older than he is type thing, and it really worked then. But yeah, this opening sequence was great. Like, and it's not even the rest of the episode. I think any a little change, we go right into the song. Random lyrics I've written down. Content to be on the arm of someone as incredible as you. Watching. Then he's like watching the gems go on a mission. We get to see all the young designs of them again. It's great. Anytime we get to see young Pearl is A+. So I'm in favor. We saw Rose reading Passions of Zanzor.
Yes, that's where that book came from.
Like an alien. Wait, have we seen this book before?
Yes, in Maximum Capacity when they're cleaning out the garage. Steven's like, books! I love reading since I got grounded from TV. And Greg sees that one. He's like, we're going to wait till you're a bit older on that one.
What's your thoughts on Rose reading like alien human smut? Like, I think it makes sense.
She's probably poking him every 10 seconds. This is us. This is us. This book is us.
These are your Greg Rose fan fictions you're writing here. With this. It's the show kind of wrote it itself though, but yeah, that's probably what's happening.
This song, this was just so cute. All just a little snippets of their relationship.
Yeah,
like it was just so cute to actually see them in a relationship. We needed that.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen much of that, and it was really good in the song. Full-time job admiring someone as inspiring. Yeah, and then I said the rest of it already. But yeah, then it's yeah. The notable thing for me is we like enumerate the themes of the episode before it like even starts. But yeah, this is a really good song. This might crack my top 10 list when we redo our song lists.
which we will do very
Uh,
soon, probably at the end of
I don't know
summer
if
of
we need
Steven.
to. We did it. That would be within like 6 months. I don't know if we could do that, but 8 months.
Okay, but the
How
sheer
many how
volume
many
of
new more songs?
songs.
Well, yeah, we've got all the ones for Mr. Greg. Yeah, we probably
Were
need
there
to.
any others so far in the last 2 weeks besides
Yeah.
Mr. Greg in this episode?
Yes. What would it be from? I think we had one more. I don't remember.
No, I don't think so. Unless you want to count Centipedal's Chips jingle.
No, because that was from. Oh my god. No, stop. Are we sure we didn't have any more?
No. Did Drop Beat Dad have a song?
I mean, they play it at least, right? Like.
Yeah, the Guacola song? Or...
Yeah, well, yeah, Guacola song that counts. Yep. That counts.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, yeah. So maybe we'll get. I assume we'll be getting more songs though in the next.
Top
in the
5
next week.
Steven Universe food jingles.
Oh god, you can probably are 5. That's
Cookie Cat Chips,
yeah.
Guacola.
Cookie Cat's number 1. Come on. Cookie Cat's
Meat Hits the Flame. We're up to 4. Can we find 5?
okay. Cookie Cat's number 1. I don't care. Okay. Yeah. So pass the song. Him playing for money. That's interesting. Not even enough for a bad hot dog. Vidalia and Baby Sour Cream. Are you too cool for mushed up carrots? Okay, how would you describe? Can you do the Baby Sour Cream sounds?
Meh.
It's like meh or eh. It's like meh.
Eh.
Like, yeah, I don't know how to write
It's
it.
like regular sour
Meh.
cream, but somehow a deeper voice.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, but it's really good. Doesn't your magical girlfriend know how to cook? Vidalia has some great lines in here. They're pretty subtle. Well, they're not like subtle, but they're like kind of quietly said. But there's some great stuff. Coming this fall, he's a little butler with a big attitude. Okay, we get the genesis.
This is how that happened.
This is how that happened. Vidalia working at a t-shirt store.
Which we've seen the T-shirt shop. That's still a thing.
Oh, okay.
In Restaurant Wars, you see it in the background where someone's cowering in a T-shirt store. So it's good to know that actually existed.
Interesting. There are definitely a lot of t-shirt stores in the beaches, so I think that makes sense. They get Babysitter cancels, Death in the Family, Hamster doesn't count, lousy 12-year-old.
That was wonderful. Can we figure out who this was? Who was 12?
Okay, yeah, because we know everyone in Beach City, right? So
who's 12 back
who's
then?
like slightly younger than Greg and Vidalia?
How old is Mr. Smiley?
I think as old as them, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if we know anyone who's in like their
I guess they would be their, what, 30s now?
30s, right?
20s?
30s,
Late 20s?
late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, something around there. Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone either... Fryman? No, Fryman's probably around Greg's age.
No, yeah, there's no one. I don't think
Maybe they ran away.
people can leave Beach City. That's the thing. I didn't know that was the thing.
It's like Hill Valley. Once you enter, you can never leave.
Yeah, but apparently someone did leave. So I don't know. We'll think about this. Greg, watching Sour Cream. Vidalia says, if anything happens to my kid, you better pray your space goddess magic, so your space goddess magic can bring back people from the dead because I will destroy you. Okay, this is the foremost Vidalia line, I would say now.
God bless Vidalia. She is incredible.
That's pretty great. Then Rose comes in. Greg, where did you get this mini human from? Did you make him?
That was the line where I'm like, Star, is that you?
Yeah, that's such a star line. Like, this is presumably pretty close to when Steven's born, and at this point, Rose doesn't understand that Greg can't make humans. Like, okay, this is, or like, or even if she understands, she just thought he like ran off with someone else, and she's like happy about that. Like, that's pretty. It's interesting.
This scene made me question so much about Steven and his forming this episode. Just Roses.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't think that I would have to think about this, but this episode, it's just like,
I guess a lot happens in a year, and she is reading up with Passions of Zanzar, so you know, maybe it figures it out. I guess he just likes sitting on his blanket and nod from Baby Sour Cream. You know how long it took me to figure out that this and you are the same thing?
This was
Um,
so cute.
yeah. Uh, then we get the one of the great lines from the episode. You grow. When a gem is made, it's for a reason. They burst out of the ground already knowing what they're supposed to be, and that's what they are forever. But you're supposed to change. You're never the same, even moment to moment. You're allowed and expected to invent who you are. What an incredible power! The ability to grow up. Very on the nose themes, but like this is a great speech. Like this is probably I think this is the best things Rose has said on the show. Um,
Yes.
yeah, was really into it. Great line reads from Rose's VA, who I will check on all the VAs today to give credit. But yeah, it was really good, and then the the reaction to it was also great, and by Susan Egan, um, and then it's those are good song lyrics. What were you saying? Really profound yet relatable. After Greg comes back, it's pretty great. I like Greg's reaction to that. So I feel this makes a lot of sense based on what we know about gems. That this is what Rose would kind of connect to from humans. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something we've kind of seen before, like her amazement with at like humans. But I don't know. I think this is good and necessary because we've never like understood why she's so fascinated by humans. I guess. And this is like directly relating it to her experience as gems. This probably relates back to her what she like rebelled from in gem society, and it's like it's. I assume that the seeing humans is this true? Were they there pre-humans or were humans there? Let's think about this. I
Oh
assume
boy.
I assume the seeing of the humans had a lot to do with why Rosa eventually rebelled. But I'm
Yes.
right. But were they pre-human? It depends when exactly the rebellion happened.
5,500 years ago-ish.
Yeah, I mean there are humans then, so that all. I mean this is not Earth though, so who knows? But yeah, I think that's an interesting thing to think about how the role that observing humans might have played in Rose kind of.
So basically, the Silver Surfer arc from Fantastic Four way back when sees humans, rebels against alien overlord.
You're missing your mark here with your audience, Justin. I'm not understanding any of these superhero references, so you're gonna have to
Somebody does.
switch this up. But yeah, it's I think this gives me a lot more insight into Rose and kind of how her view of humans. It's still very superficial, like I said to me, but it's we're getting some depth finally. I think this was probably the best scene of the episode, along with the song. Need to find Rose and Sour Cream. He like a sequence of him going around. He goes to like the arcade and is like playing Potato Bros. I don't know if we'd seen that as an arcade game before, but that was the highlight of that sequence. And well, he's all the way up there, and Rose is like, "This will be a formative experience for him."
Not if he falls.
Yeah, not if he falls. The whole thing with the controls and it's speeding up and the car and they go flying and Rose catches them in the car. It's like, why didn't Rose just jump up to save them initially? That's what I was kind of wondering when that was happening. Like, okay, Rose can just like float up or something, like, well, let's do that. And Baby Sour Cream's chill throughout the whole thing. He can't do whatever he wants, but you do whatever you want. I don't need someone to. Oh man, I am baby.
I love this. Do you want me to put you down now?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sad realizations from Greg. Today is quite a journey. Do you want your shirt back? We all got to grow up sometime. Not really relevant to my question. That was probably my Vidalia line. And then he goes to the car wash and starts singing "Let Me Drive My Van Into Your Wash." Which I don't know if I don't think we've heard this variation before of the song.
Can that be my jingle? Can that be jingle number 5? You know it's not food.
No, it's not food, so it doesn't count. Rejected. Sorry. And people grow up. Then we have Greg summarizing the themes of the episode. People grow whether they want to or not, but growing up is something you got to decide to do. And then
Profound, Greg.
profound,
Profound.
Greg. Yeah. And then Baby Sour Cream. No, why? I don't. No one knows what happened to him. Yeah, that's. It's like what they don't understand based on the name Sour Cream that this is Sour Cream. First of all, is Sour Cream's name actually Sour Cream?
I guess.
Yeah,
The fact that they played that straight.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But
Well, I guess if your name's already Vidalia, it's not that much of a stretch.
it's a little bit of a stretch from that. I think it's like 2 words and
Your
everything.
name is already an onion, and you already look like an onion. It's not a stretch.
I think the name Vidalia is fine.
I mean, it's a nice name when you don't already look like an onion.
Okay, yes, true. That's the difficult part. But yeah, there you go. Overall, it's just like seriously, it's just great top to bottom this episode, the entire thing. Yeah. Any notable things we haven't discussed? You want to get into more in depth than any of this?
I'm wondering which part to get more in depth on. I actually like Rose. I'm sad you're anti-Rose here.
I'm not anti-Rose. Well,
you just can't relate.
I just
'cause
like
it's so superficial.
I don't. She's not. From what I've seen, she's not necessarily someone I would like. Let's say that.
I am very much that Greg wide-eyed, you're amazing alien woman. That would be me. So I feel I relate to Greg in this case of, this mysterious person who comes into your life and is just amazing. It's like every day you find out something else cool about them. I see it. I can see why Greg fell in love, and I see why Rose loves him. And man, I'm just the sucker for a good love story.
Yeah. I guess so. One thing I want to bring up, I think it's interesting the themes in this episode. It's not super appealing themes to me. This whole like, yeah, you got to get a job and get your life together, kind of what we're getting into.
I need to get a job and get my life together.
Yeah, you get on that, Justin. Not the biggest fan of these themes, but it's also like not presented in like if this is how life works kind of way. It's like this is what Greg needed to learn because he was like a super bum. And so I guess it's in relation to Greg. It is a little different than I feel like the show in general is more along the how Greg started, which was like I thought all I needed was love to approach life. So I thought it was like a kind of an interesting grounded theme for this show.
It was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so let's rank the episodes from this week.
Okay.
We already started doing that. I will go 1, Greg the Babysitter, 2, Monster Reunion, 3, Alone at Sea. So Alone at Sea is like the most interesting of the ones. I just think there's some flaws like as a television episode. Number 4, Restaurant Wars. Number 5, Kiki's Pizza Delivery Service.
I think my order is exactly the same. I'm going to put Monster Reunion number 1, simply because I waited for that episode. I wanted that for like a year.
It was very good. These are on the Dylan scale. The first 3 would be above 9s, and the latter 2 would be above 6s. Or Kiki's is like I don't know. It's above a 5. It's like I'm very happy with this week. There's no like.
There's no clunker.
There's no clunker really. Yeah, I mean I think Kiki's is the closest, but that episode was fine. Like it's fine. Next week. Here's the titles. Gem Hunt, Monday. Tuesday, Crack the Whip. Wednesday, Steven versus Amethyst. Thursday...
Can we say it? Okay,
come on. We're going to talk about spoilers. Spoilers, everyone knows this already. Thursday, Bismuth. Our
half-hour special
on Bismuth, yeah. And then Friday, Beta.
Part 1.
Potentially part 1.
That is part 1.
We're a little not clear on whether this is officially the title.
Have you seen the full list for the fourth week as well? Because it's saying that's part 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till it's on the episode, like the TV guide. But yeah, it's probably part 1. So this is interesting, like a 3-parter, not at the end of the season. But yeah, we have some probably a full list for the rest of the season. It's not on Wikipedia yet. I don't know why, but it's interesting stuff. We already know what Gem Hunt's about. If you want to seek out those spoilers, I am very hyped for Gem Hunt. Knowing what that episode's about. Very, very hype. So looking forward to Monday. Potentially Tuesday. We don't know anything else for the rest of them. We know what Bismuth's about.
I mean, clearly Crack the Whip.
One would think this is 2 Amethyst episodes in a row, right?
Which we have been short on our Amethyst.
Yes, I've been saying for a while, I need more Amethyst episodes. And then who knows what this 3-parter is going to be about.
Something big.
Beta, like, that's not a Steven Universe word, so I don't really understand.
Well,
this isn't Teen Wolf. Why do we have Beta here? Come on.
Beta program. The gems are computer programs confirmed. Alternate Earth theory confirmed.
Okay, that was something I would say, but thank you.
You've trained me well.
I do think Beta has something to do with the gems. Like maybe there's Beta and Alpha gems.
I'm thinking beta, like they run into like a prototype of something, be it the cluster or a diamond or a ship or something.
Okay, that's interesting.
Do we want to say part 2 and 3, or wait till they?
We'll wait on that. But
okay.
I wonder if the gems have like beta versions of things. If that would be programmed into the gems type of like how they view the world. Maybe. That's interesting. Interesting to think about. We'll get into that.
We'll find out in a week.
Yeah. We'll be covering all these Monday, Tuesday. No promises on when they go up. It's possible they'll be up like exactly when the episode happens. It's also possible they'll be up a few hours later, but we'll see on that. But yeah, stick to overlyanimated.com for all of this, and you can leave us comments on this everywhere. A lot of discussion going on these, a lot of traction. It's great. And you can support us on patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to our patrons: Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Davon, and Jade, aka Fever, Mitch, Corner, Sleep Exchange, Nathan, Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Mama, Nitros, Johnny Bravo, Brian, Cookette, Needle, Jewel. I want to do something with Diamond for Davon's nickname. We're working on this. Think about this, Justin. How do we work Diamond, Davon? They have similar beginnings, so we'll think about that.
I kind of like, what was it? Diavon you suggested?
Yeah, but I want to just combine them. I want to do something different. I gotta think about this. All the nicknames recently are like more clever than that. So then just combining things like stupid ship names.
What's wrong with stupid ship names? Says the Total Drama fan. It's nothing but stupid ship names.
Yeah. Dylan anti-combining ship names, but yeah. So let us know what you thought of this. I assume we'll have less intense discussion than we did on the Alone at Sea. A lot of good comments on that episode. Interesting discussion on it. But yeah, anything else, Justin?
Not particularly.
Oh yeah, check out our Miraculous Ladybug podcast on Sunday. Next week, our Star podcast won't be up until Wednesday.
Read the blog. That's my...
Oh yeah, let's plug overlyanimated.com/category/blog. You can just check out hit the blog link on overlyanimated.com. Justin recently put up a review of Batman: The Killing Joke.
That was good. It's available now digitally. It comes out on DVD and Blu-ray next Saturday, but the review is spoiler free.
Spoiler-free review. I might have an article going up soon entitled "Steven Universe Needs to Shake Things Up." I wrote the intro paragraphs. Let's see if I follow through and write the rest of it. To
the Tumblr user wondering when my top 10 animated movies list will be going up, that will come up by the end of August at the latest. Hopefully this weekend.
That's a very broad list.
Well,
it's very broad.
I have written the list on Tumblr. Okay. Like just the names. I need to actually expand upon it now.
We're all about lists on here.
I love lists. So, listicles even, if you want to call them that.
Nope. I do not. But thanks for trying them. So.
You're welcome.
Yep, you're okay. Let us know what you guys thought of all of this. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.